Yeah, we coming now. Come on. Yeah, that's right. We put it down. It's like a family in here, just a little disabled. Putting it down, we lay them out on the table. Yeah. Who's in the house? The brothers in the house. Gotta turn it on out, let you know what we about. Kinda like Cain and Abel, a bit unstable. Don't be breaking the brain, break the whole damn table. How we shut it down, we give them a blast. Keep it real though, just using their ass. That's right. We put it down. Yeah, we in the house. Yeah, come on. Okay. Hypnotized in a trance, gotta make them dance. Jump in the pit, now throw up your hands. Having a party, beat blast on the mic. Spitting lyrics from my tongue, bringing the hype. The door's wide open, do you dare to come in? Battle with the boys, let's with us with a sing. So who's up next as we gather around the table? Lay your ass flat, let you know that we're able. Coming down, come on. We coming down, come on. Yeah, that's right. We put it down. Yeah, we in the house. Yeah, come on. Okay. You know, shut it down. It's like a family in here, just a little disabled. Putting it down, lay 'em out on the table. Who's in the house? The brothers in the house. Gotta turn it on out, let you know what we about. Kinda like Cain and Abel, be a bit unstable. Don't be breaking the brain, break the whole damn table. How we shut it down, we give 'em a blast. Keep it real though, just using their ass. Hypnotized in a trance, gotta make 'em dance. Jump in the pit, now throw up your hands. Having a party, beat blast on the mic. Spitting lyrics from my tongue, bringing the hype. The door's wide open, do you dare to come in? Battle with the boys, mess with us with a sing. So who's up next as we gather around the table? Lay your ass flat, let you know that we're able. Come on. Yeah. That's right.
What's happening, everybody? Tactical Santa here, the Smack Talker Slay Walker, joined, of course, with my buddies, the human Squatch, but absolutely the most elegant Squatch I've ever known, and 30 Stray J. And if you can, scratch that screen, and you can probably smell him through your screen because he's got all that good scent on him today. So, fellas, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How was your birthday?
You know, my birthday was good. I taught some classes on my birthday. Went home, had a really good dinner with my family, and enjoyed myself. Actually, went and worked out with my godkids, so that was pretty cool. We went to the gym, worked out, hung out, and of course, got to watch some Friday Night SmackDown on my birthday. So everything went good.
How you making out, Jay? You all right?
Oh yeah, I'm getting ready for this vacation. I work tomorrow, and then I'm off and getting up early on Tuesday to start driving for Worlds. 7 hour drive for me, so I'll get there mid-afternoon, get checked in, and get some good food. Wait for all the friends to show up.
Heck yeah, I'm excited to see you, man. Speaking
You
of
too.
worlds, we got Bearded Chief in the chat room. What up,
What?
Chief?
Woo!
Yep, Bearded Chief is here, and I'll be staying at Chateau de Chief, so I'll be with him for Worlds. We have a fun time meeting up with 30 Spray J. It's gonna be awesome, super awesome. I can't
You
wait.
might see that new grandbaby of his too.
Right? There's a possibility.
hmm
Possibility. I know.
hmm
I know. Supposed to be soon, very very soon. Heck yeah. So let's say hi to everybody that we got in here. We got a Ryan Wilson. What's happening, Ryan Wilson? Thanks for joining us. We've got Baker, and for those of
Sure.
you Baker has his show at 8:30. What's the Crake? Good show. Catch it. We got Joshua Ricks. What's going on, Joshua? And we got the better half of 30 Spray J, that Nothing King. He's there. and the one and the only Bearded Chief, man. So, guys, I'm still excited. I still love this picture, man. I think this family portrait of the Suplex Syndicate is awesome. I don't know why it looks so mean. I don't know. I mean, 30 Spray J, I know you came up with this. Did you type into Chat GPT, make Tactical Santa look like he is constipated or something?
I just said, give me a buff Santa with a gun, and it gave me a pissed off Santa, probably because I'm spraying on my cologne.
What's happening, Chief? I mean, Chris, what's going on, Chris?
Man, I said earlier he looks like Clint Eastwood from Gran Turismo, "Get Off My Lawn" Santa type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you've got 30 Spray J looking so cool. He's got his cologne. You got the elegant Sasquatch in the back, just chilling. You know, he's in his forest. Then you got me. It's like, man, I gotta go to the bathroom. Something's wrong, right? I look so pissed off. You know,
Oh, that's hilarious.
well, that's okay. Usually, when I talk to 30 Spray J, this is usually what I feel that he's looking at. He's looking at me doing like this. He's all giddy and ready to go, right? That's probably
Just glad that you talked to me.
Actually, do you know that picture looks like you are mad at every single one of the animals in that forest? That's what it is.
well, you know, I'm pretty sure this is what it looks like when 30 Spray J is watching wrestling during the week or looking at like watching one of the pay-per-views going, I can't believe that just happened. The craziness, you know. So
We can talk about it because I had that face during Night of Champions.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, why don't we dig into some stuff? Let's start off with Raw, guys. What did you think about Raw? How did Raw go?
Again, you know what?
It was a slow build from, to Night of Champions. You know, it's the last Raw before Champions.
Yeah,
But
it just
it was
again
nothing to write home about.
Yeah, second straight week. I really don't remember what happened on Raw. I don't know if it's just because it was, a week ago or like just nothing happened. Like, I mean, it's the same. It's like they're just recycling the same stuff. I know they have to just progress the storyline to a certain point, but nothing really happened on Monday Night Raw that I can actually like legitimately talk about.
I think the only thing that happened on Raw, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm having the same thing. I'm trying to remember, but didn't Jade have the outfit malfunction Monday night? Was that this Monday night when didn't she wrestle what's her name? Part of Judgment Day, kind of. Roxanne Perez.
Oh,
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. You would know more than me, Dino. You would know more than me.
Yeah, I think that happened.
The only highlight of Raw was Cody versus Jey Uso for advancement into the ring, and Jey Uso getting screwed and getting pushed to the back of the bus because it seems like he's gonna make the list of people that were once champion, had a good powerful run, and then they're just gonna bury him back. Is that because of Daddy's comments? Is he getting punished for us podcasters having an opinion?
The thing is, like every time he was on a segment, like the numbers were through the roof. That's what I don't understand. I don't like.
Right.
I don't know. We all know that Gunther's going to lose the belt at this upcoming the Saturday Night main event. We all know that. We get that. But the issue is like what would them basically have a squash match if they want to give the belt to Gunther? Like would it be more of a, hey, you're just a lot, you just beat somebody that's a lot smaller than you. Gunther's a little bit more physically built than what Jay is. Is that what it is? And then Jay's just going to win the belt back later on. I'm like, I don't know.
I really think now that the reason why they don't have him as champion, the reason they didn't get him to go to that match was somehow he's going to line back up with his brother. He's going to line with Jacob Fatu, and they're going to have to take on Solo's version of the Bloodline. But I can foresee in the near future the Usos being tag team champions again.
Yep.
Because with all that that Jay's got going with him, he can really bring the crowd, and I think he'll bring excitement back to the Uso tag team. So that's what I foresee.
But with
Who
them,
is Raw? The New Day, right? I keep forgetting
yeah,
that because
Yeah.
yeah, the
Yeah,
New Day, War Raiders, I think it's LWOs on there too.
Raw does not
because
have the push on and the tag teams, and I think they need that back with the Usos. That's a
But the,
good
right,
that's a good thought, Dino. That's what I think as well because they don't have anything to do with Jimmy.
yeah,
So the
and
draft is to come.
yeah, I was gonna say one of them would have to switch brands if that was gonna happen, especially
you
Yeah,
against
know though,
Jacob.
if you think about it, I mean, how many times do you seen guys get traded back and forth even though the draft happened? Wait, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the
If
open.
when it comes to money, they're gonna put them where they want them to put them. They don't care about the draft, you
Yep,
know. But
yep,
yeah, I could see that though. They're gonna put them guys together again because let's face it, man. I think everybody wants to see the Usos back together now, especially at this point, and especially joining forces with Fatu.
yep.
You know, I mean that right there is key. And then what I think is going to happen is Roman Reigns is going to come back and he's going to be part of that faction.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be the fourth member. Yeah, I can see
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I see. I see Roman Reigns coming back with a whole other faction, and maybe some hopes of some kind of rebuild of a new Shield. But I say that's when Brock Lesnar comes back.
yeah. Yep. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's leave that for the prediction time. I think we covered Raw because Raw really wasn't that exciting. I don't think. Leading up to SmackDown, which
Yes.
I've been saying this past couple weeks. SmackDown, in my opinion, always beats out Raw now.
Yep.
I don't, but I mean, it just does. SmackDown is beating out Raw.
Yep.
You know,
Very much so. That they have the better storylines, the better promos.
right?
Speaking of what we were just talking about, there was actually a promo between Jacob and Big Jim on
Yeah,
SmackDown, and basically, Jacob was like, "You got a problem? Fit in where you get in where you can fit in." And
right,
Big Jim's like, basically, he's like, "Yeah, I got you." And so
right,
they seems like they made a deal without making a deal, if that makes any
right,
sense. Yeah.
right, right.
What I liked about SmackDown, excuse me, I got a work phone call.
Yep, no problem. But the other thing that happened on there, so Tiffany Stratton defended against Nia.
Which, by the way, a fantastic match, and that
It
just
was
Nia made her look like $1,000,000, and it's
right.
like Stratton is still very inexperienced. Like I understand why they put the belt on her because
Yeah,
she was hot at the time, but
right.
Nia carried that match. You know what I mean? Again,
Nia has shown something and this time that she's come back, right?
yeah,
In this run that she's come back, she has really shown that she knows how to work. And
yeah,
every match she's been in, she has made everybody look good.
yep.
I
And
mean,
that
everybody.
I watched the video on that, and that was what they talked about. Like her coming back, she's actually they actually said she's too careful with some of her opponents before she was too stiff and hurting everybody. Now it's just
Right.
like, and then they showed her with that was it the Hell in the Cell with the where she was doing the
Yeah.
chair shots, which is one thing. That's fine, whatever. But
Right.
now she's putting people through tables. She's
Right.
being put through tables, and it's working.
Right.
It
Right.
definitely works. So
Right. And then of course Naomi tried to come out and cash in.
yeah, yeah, that
They're gonna milk that until WrestleMania. It seems
Right.
like every month of every briefcase now
Right.
they'll milk 6 or 7 times of trying to cash in, and then like it's gonna be a banger. And to
Yeah.
me, I think it's gonna be WrestleMania for Naomi.
Oh, for sure. For sure. She's got it. Yeah, because I mean, they're gonna wait to the big stage. Because especially with Naomi's character and how she's telling everybody, like, hey, you're gonna have it's gonna be in the back of your mind
mhm.
when I'm gonna cash in. So yeah, they can't let her cash in too prematurely. They gotta let her build this storyline and get some good stuff in before she cashes in. Definitely for sure. Yep. Yep. Um, what was it? Was it Rusev?
Yes, yeah,
Rusev and Sheamus.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be like another hard hitting match. They have history with each other. Barrett's even brought it up a couple times on commentary between the different shows when they were with League of Nations, so they know each other relatively well, and they were buddies at one time. And Sheamus called him out for being the weak link of that group.
Right.
And I can see it. You know, he's just basically the strength and the muscle, but now it's just kind of back to being a mid carder, and they pushed him for a week, and then okay. So I'm kind of excited to see what Sheamus can do with him, even though Sheamus is like 400 years old and can barely move anymore.
Right.
Yeah, but Sheamus does build the characters. He's the guy that can train you while we're on TV.
Yep.
Right. Exactly. Well, after SmackDown, we ran right into Night of Champions.
Yes.
What would you rate overall? Let's do this before we go into each individual match. What would you rate that pay-per-view? What rating would you give it?
Oh,
I give it a C plus, just because there was only 2 title matches on that Night of Champions. Like C plus, like just overall. It wasn't anything to like, oh my god, I got to go back and rewatch that match. But there were two matches on there that really stood out, and it was just like, I'm not going to give too much away right now because we're going to go through it, but it's just I would say a solid C plus, C plus, somewhere in that range.
Right. Well, let's start off. First off, that came off the bat was Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes for the King of the Ring.
Yeah.
So, what'd you guys think about that one?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, my childhood happened right in front of my eyes. Okay, because I grew up with 2000s, late Attitude Era. Randy Orton was the fresh off the bat, the youngest champion ever. And then you got Cody Rhodes, who, trained under Randy Orton. I expected Randy Orton to get one final push before, retirement. I hope that he still has some years in him. But what are they going to do with Cody Rhodes being the King of the Ring and pushing for a championship again? The story's already been finished with his dad and his daddy.
Right.
I don't see Cody Rhodes being the one to save us from John Cena if we need saved. Randy Orton and John Cena's history, it needed to be finished because the last match that they had there needed to be more.
Right.
So I was screaming at my TV like a 15-year-old.
Right. Right. Yeah, I agree. One thing I picked up on that match at the end, after he'd won it, did you guys not feel it was kind of strange that he did not put the crown on?
Yes.
You know what? And like that was a running theme with everybody. In those matches. The other one did that too. That they held it up, but they didn't actually crown it. You think that would you think where they were, since that was a monarchy or whatever, you think that had anything to do with it? Yeah.
Well,
I think so.
Well, I don't know. I don't necessarily think that, because I mean, they obviously knew that they're going to have King of the Ring there. I mean, they obviously bid for that pay-per-view. They want it there. They know, and they, of course, they probably were the ones that, paid for that, the crowns,
There's little subtle respect things that they do for Saudi Arabia. Women have full body suits. I don't think that they were going to crown another king in front of the prince.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I look at it is that if you're bidding to have this over here and it's part of the thing, you should understand that, it shouldn't hurt anybody's feelings because he's king of a ring. He's not king of a country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
it's money.
It's
money.
Yeah.
You pay enough to be able to say, "Hey, I don't want you crowning that guy in the middle of our country."
Right. Then maybe next time they shouldn't have King of the Ring over there. Then maybe they should say, "Here's a different pay-per-view for you." Yeah.
I will say the one thing I did take away from that match is Cody is now starting to show signs of turning a heel. Because
Yes.
he did something that I don't think I've seen him do in quite some time. He was
Yeah.
actually focusing specifically on a body part. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like he
Yes.
knew about about RKO, about Randy's back and whatnot. I forgot his name there
Mhm.
for a second, but yeah, he knew about his bad back and he targeted it and went after it.
Right.
Very heelish, because you don't see that any other time. So
Right.
you can see that there's probably going to be a Cody heel turn soon. Which
I am hoping 100% because I'll actually enjoy a Cody heel run.
Dye
yeah,
the hair, black on black, American Nightmare.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
so the
I
question
think that,
is, you would have to, unfortunately you would have to change the theme song now.
well,
Yeah,
I mean, he's friends with that band anyway,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
yeah. Just
So I mean, he'll
make a new darker heel
right.
version or whatever. Like they don't have. I don't see Cody having a story to tell anymore. So
No.
they're gonna have to do something with him now. Randy, on the other hand, they could play him as a face or a heel because either
Right.
way, babyface champion Orton was good, but heel Orton champion was even better.
yep.
Right.
And kicking people in the head and
Yeah.
going
Right.
crazy. Yeah,
Right. What was the next one after that? Was it Rhea? Did Rhea go next?
yeah. Was it? No, it
No,
was.
Jade and Asuka.
Yeah, Jacob fought two and Solo went next, and man, um,
That was interesting. Like it
yeah,
was. First of all, I really hate Solo's trunks on him. They like every time I see him, it makes it look like he's a boxer, and they're
you know,
like a size too big for him.
you
Like they
know
don't
the old,
look
the
right.
only guy that ever looked good with like that style was Samoa Joe, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I don't know, do you kind of think that when they first brought Solo in, they were kind of modeling him after Samoa Joe, like the look
Yeah,
and because yeah, but I agree with you on that.
they were trying to merge a good Umaga,
Yeah,
R.I.P., with a Samoa Joe. Don't
right.
get me wrong, he's got the Samoan, but I don't see that Samoan fighter that Solo had been from the very beginning to
yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
He's
I don't
gotten
see.
better on the mic. He's a great
right,
wrestler, but I don't see the viciousness of how he was when he first started. Like he was undefeated, and now he's
right,
just a funny bad guy.
Yeah,
right,
and
right.
the I hate to say it, but the dad joke, making fun of everybody, that's starting to get
Yeah.
old.
Yeah,
Like he's either doing it too much or it's just really, really getting stale for my taste.
The
yeah,
But
face that he makes afterwards reminds me of like you know uncles at a
yeah,
barbecue
yep,
mocking you
yeah,
when your slang versus our slang.
yep.
right. Yeah,
But the match itself was okay. They did some spots on there that I was like I was okay with, and then it just kind of went off the rails at the end.
right.
What did I say last time or between you guys? I don't know if I said it online, but I want to see Jacob Fatu and Solo without any interference. And here it came. Here it bled in.
Yep,
Here it bled bloodline.
yep.
Right.
Was it Tamaloa? I think it is.
Tom,
Yeah, Tamaloa came back
Tom
from
Lowe.
injury.
Yep.
The guy that was constantly botching, he came
Right.
back and did a corkscrew off the top, which
Right.
it didn't look bad, but I'm
It
like,
was clean. It was
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
clean.
I was like, okay, so that's how they're gonna finish it. And then I'm not even gonna try to butcher his name.
Well, you had JC come in first.
Yeah, JC came in,
And
did absolutely.
thanks to you guys, can't remember which one of you said it. I can't get out of my mind that he is like the Timo or Wish version of Rhino. I
Yeah,
can't get that out of
yeah,
my head. Every time I
yeah,
see him now, I'm like,
yeah.
there he is.
So yeah, he came in just to basically distract the ref. He didn't actually do anything. And then they introduced another member to this new bloodline.
Right.
Um, was it Hikalua? I think it is. This guy's the 7-footer. So you
Yeah.
got that. So there's now four, and then when Tonga comes back, there'll be 5 in
Where
that.
did Tama go? I know that this one had an eye injury that
Yeah.
just returned. But
Yeah.
where did Tama go?
No, I have no
I
idea. I
No
was looking
idea.
it up and I couldn't find, like, he's not injured.
No.
So I don't know.
Yep.
don't know.
Don't know. But
So
I mean, I
then, go ahead.
kind of thought it was going to go down that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it just makes the story right. So now, Fatu is going to have to align with Jim
Yep. Going
because
back
he's
to
going to need.
Friday.
Yep,
Yep.
he's going to need friends.
But surprisingly, he was not. Big Jim wasn't anywhere here. He didn't come
Right,
out at all, which is
right,
kind of weird.
right. But yeah, so you're going to have kind of a fight off between, I guess we call them bloodlines.
Bloodline 2.0, yeah.
I
Yeah, so
say they changed their name. Don't go with a bloodline. Maybe call yourself something like the Dynasty
Yeah.
or the Kings of the Islands or something. Give something else. The bloodline was Roman and his thing.
Yep.
right,
Let that be the Samoan bloodline thing, and
right,
maybe the Samoan Kings or something like. Keep it interlac, but stop with this bloodline stuff.
Yep.
right.
Yep.
I think they really do need to change the name because it gets too confusing, right? Like, who's the bloodline? Which bloodline are you talking about? This
Yep.
just simply Solo. That one they need to just rename it.
Yeah.
Give
Exactly.
it a new name.
Exactly.
There we go.
Exactly.
And as far as if Fatu is with Jimmy, and let's say Jay comes over, just call them the Usos, man.
Yep.
You
And
know,
then, with the interference, we do have a new champ.
right?
Solo is the new U.S. champ, which, okay. I saw a video this morning that, now that I think about it, the lady that was talking about it, she was like, I knew Solo was going to win
Yeah,
when they brought up the statistic about him never winning a solo title.
right, right,
And she was like, yeah, he's going to win it before the match even started. And I was like, oh, man, she was right.
right,
So,
right. Yeah, I figured somehow because, like I said, he's got his people, and there was going to be some interference. He wasn't going to win it clean, but I figured Solo was going to win it. Just to set up more storyline, of course.
yep.
So yeah. Um, Next up, let's say it was Rhea and Raquel Rodriguez.
Yes.
Um,
Probably the best match of the whole card, to be honest with you.
and I gotta say this: I'm not a fan of Raquel Rodriguez. I'm really not. But I think she did an exemplary job that night. She kind of gained a little bit more respect for me.
Yeah. She's the only one on the roster that could probably match power for power with Rhea. You know what I mean? Because
Right,
they were two powerhouses. But shout out
right,
to the ref in that match. He was
yeah,
the true MVP because nobody really
yeah,
saw it. When they were doing that stair spot outside the ring.
yeah,
He's counting and holding the stairs so it doesn't fall on him.
right,
Then when they were on top of the top rope on
hmm
the table, he's holding
right,
the table so it doesn't fall. So shout out to the MVP of
right.
the match, the ref.
And how cool was that move on the table on the
Oh
top
yeah,
rope? That was cool. That was
yeah.
really cool.
I
I
can't.
really wanted to see her put her through it though.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
thinking that that's what
yeah,
was happening. I
right,
wanted to see the violence. I was in ECW mode right there.
right,
Apparently, Rhea got hurt in that spot where she was tied up in the ropes in the candlestick spot where she
yeah,
was just. I think she took 4 or 5 nasty shots to the midsection and actually legitimately injured her ribs. So
right,
she's going to be off TV for a couple weeks, from what I heard.
right.
So
Bruised ribs, yeah.
yeah. So
If you notice with the candlesticks, they were a little bit darker than the normal candlesticks of when
they're
we're in the
European ones,
US.
the foreign ones.
European candles,
For
I don't know.
Yeah, they were imported. You don't see those around here.
right,
We get
right.
the softer ones here in America.
But yeah, that match was awesome. Speaking of Rhea, I really think I like the direction they're taking her into. I think that making her look more feminine than when she was hardcore. I think her look is progressing in a better way. I like how she's more of her comes out.
Yeah,
You know what I
I,
mean?
I,
So
you're talking about Rhea, right?
yes, Rhea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally liked her when she had the short hair. I like that a little bit better, but That's just me.
Right.
But
But
yeah.
I mean, but they are going in a good direction. But I'm confused about what they're going to do with her, though. Right.
Mhm.
So, is she going to get another championship run, or are they going to bury her? You know what I mean? I don't know
Yeah.
what they're going to do with her. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I think right now Rhea is still in the championship run. I
She
think
is, but she's not going to win anything until after whoever
Osaka's gonna have a
after
run.
after Naomi cashes in. They're not going to have her lose.
Naomi, honestly, I'd love to see Jade versus Rhea. They're both big bodybuilder women that show their strength. I would like an honest feud with those two.
Yep. Well, let's see. The next one is Karrion Cross and Sami Zayn. Um,
Woo!
I
That
gained you always talk 30 Spray J about Karrion Cross, and up until Night
Yes.
of Championship, I really didn't pay a lot of attention to Karrion Cross, and that guy right there gained a lot of my respect, and he has gained a new fan because I'll tell you what, the guy is amazing in the ring, and he needs to get a push. Now, not going to get into anything, but there's a reason why Sammy won. We all kind of know without having to say it.
mhm.
But good match any which way. I think he made the match look good,
Yep.
and I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I mean, Carrion looked like a superstar in that match. Like
Yes, he
physically, just
did.
looked dominant.
I think that any match that Karrion is, he makes the other person look better. Look at the
Mm-hmm.
matches with AJ Styles. AJ Styles isn't the young, soccer mom cut AJ Styles jumping off the ropes anymore. He made
Right.
AJ Styles look good. He makes Sammy look good.
Right.
This is champion material right here with Karrion Cross.
And
Right.
he was even taught even after Cross lost, he was still on the
Yeah.
mat on his back talking crap
Right.
to Sami Zayn.
Right.
And like I don't know about you, but did anybody else get the feeling through this whole card that there was a lot of talking between the talent going back and forth, like
Yeah.
and a lot of playing up to the camera? Because
Yep.
there was a couple times in this match. There was a couple times there was another match. I forget what other match. Oh, it was the Fatu solo match. Like
Right.
they looked straight into the hard camera, was straight posing for them, and I'm like,
Right.
oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
We're pushing the fourth degree. They're going somewhere with that, but it's also slow story building.
Mhm.
You're gonna
Right.
see the heel turn of Sami Zayn
Yeah.
finally because they have anything to do with Sammy?
Yeah. They got to
Someone
figure
left when
something
he was
out.
champion.
They got to figure something out with him. But it was a great match.
Yeah.
Karrion made it look good, and I look forward to seeing more of Karrion Cross. I want to see what they're going to do with him. And if anybody has not checked it out, I heard the comment that he was to check him out on YouTube because he breaks baseball bats and that lock he does.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I gotta go check this out. I looked it up on YouTube, and not only does he do one, he can do 3 baseball bats. He breaks baseball bats in that lock he does,
Mhm.
and he's actually a really nice guy. If you see some of his YouTube stuff, he's a nice guy. So I'm gonna start paying more attention to him and his matches because I like him.
Yep.
He's a good guy.
If you ever get a chance to watch that documentary that he did during WrestleMania,
Mhm.
that was pretty good for a wrestling documentary. You know?
Yeah. Yep. So this one was the heartbreaker for me in a way. You all know that I'm a Jade Cargill fan, and I'll tell you what, this is the best part of her. She came out looking like Storm
Yeah,
because it's believable that she looks like Storm, and I think that
see the snow.
Marvel should probably pick her up and cast her as Storm. So I'm gonna get this out of the way because you guys probably would never think I'd say this, but Jade, my girl, um, Asuka made you look really good. Asuka carried you during that whole match. Yes, I'll give you props. Are you better than you were when you first made your first ride through WWE? Yes, you are. But there's still you can see experience, and I don't know what it is with her. She just needs to become smoother. It's like she's not comfortable yet, and I don't know why, but she's not comfortable. Her timing's not there. Um, anytime she wrestles somebody who's smaller and faster, it exposes a lot of weaknesses with her.
She,
You could tell a lot was not timed right. Um, in all fairness, Asuka probably should have won, but we all know why. Jade won because they got the big push behind her. No slack on Jade. I still love her, but she's just got to take it to that next level. She's been progressing, but she's got to get that timing down and she's got to get her in-ring prowess down because she's just not there yet.
it Jade. The reason why they booked this match and the reason why she got this far is because of they knew Asuka would make her look really good.
Right.
Jade isn't ready to be champion.
No.
She can't wrestle. Like she's too green still. Like she
Right.
doesn't. She
Right.
the best thing I can the best way I can describe her is she's what the Big Show was in WCW.
Yes. Yes.
First match, WCW, Big Show, or the Giant at the time.
Right.
He wins the WCW title on his first match. So he's thinking he's up here when what they would say is they wouldn't know what a wrist watch and a wrist lock would be, type of thing. She's still super green.
They should have
and it showed in this match. It really did.
Right.
And what really killed me was after the match, they're interviewing her and she's kind of cutting a promo, and it was terrible. It was I understand you just got done wrestling a match. Somebody's putting a microphone in your face and your mind's going like this. I understand that, but she just rambled, and I'm like, wow,
yeah,
really bad.
You know what probably happened, and I'll tell you this is Jade is one of them women, and she used to be an athlete, right?
Mm-hmm.
She knew she didn't do good that match. You know that she knew that. I'm pretty sure in her mind she's like, oh my God, I won it, but I didn't look good, and she probably had that going through her head, and that's why that promo was terrible. That was not one of Jade's best nights. Okay. I'll keep saying this. The biggest mistake WWE did was they should have put her in NXT, let her get her teeth sharpened, and then brought her up, right?
Yep.
It's like she's at the dance, but she doesn't quite know all the dance moves and doesn't know how to make the dance fluid, right?
Yep.
Like she's supposed to be a ballet dancer, but she's breakdancing, right?
Exactly.
So you're like, and I think she has the talent there, but the problem is they need to give her that time to get that experience, right? But now they kind of shot themselves in the foot, right? Because they brought her up to WWE right off the bat. Now if they send her back down to NXT, how do they dig all this promotion back out of her to get her back up, right?
Yep.
So now they're just going to let her hover there and hope that she gets better, right?
Yep.
I mean,
I hate to say it, but we almost need another injury run out of her so she can go away for a while and come back. Because that first match, when she came back, that first match, I don't know if it was her or if it was Naomi that made her look really, really good.
Right.
But she needs to have another one of those. Like I said, she's a less taller Big Show right now.
Right.
The Giant.
Right.
You can see the building blocks are there, but she's only 5 years into wrestling.
I believe she's 3 years. 3
years.
Total.
Because she has 2 years here in WWE and one in AEW,
one in AEW, one.
So I'm going to go on a limb and say she's 4 years into wrestling.
Right. Which, in perspective,
that seems like a long time, but you're still a baby in wrestling.
Right. But in perspective, for 4 years in the business total, she's not bad, but she's just not where these other girls are that have been putting in time. A lot of these girls have been wrestling for 10, 12 years.
Yep.
Why is no one talking about Osaka and her longest reign, and she was unstoppable? She's just, is she the new Sheamus of the women, just making everyone look good to push on?
Yeah.
Well, I think what WWE is probably concerned about, she had a major injury, right?
Yeah.
Is she going to be problematic with injuries, right? So, I mean, when you look at Asuka, right? She's another one of those that have been there, done that, right? And she's probably looking at this going, hey, you know what? As long as I can wrestle, I can still do events. I'm still getting paid. I'm still popular. Whatever, right? Let's just run it, right? Um, but what perplexes me still, going back to Jade, is you have Jordan Grace, who is fantastic, who has all this experience, champion for how long, has the moves, can do it right, and they put her in NXT.
And she was supposed to be called up, but apparently she said some not safe for work stuff on an interview just recently.
Yeah, so she's
And
not going to SmackDown.
yeah, so now she got in trouble. Yeah, okay. But yeah, it's just like it just kills me. Like I like Jade's entrance. I like the snow
Yeah,
coming down. That was kind of cool.
right, right.
But it just I love Oscar's look. That
Right.
demon red
Yeah,
eye thing. That was fantastic. I love that.
right,
But it's
right.
just overall, it just like it was bad. Like it was,
Well,
and
the problem is you could see Oscar was really trying to put her over,
yeah,
trying to,
yeah,
and just Jade's timing was totally off.
yep,
I mean, there's not, in all defense of Oscar, there is not much more she could have done with that match.
no,
She tried her best
yep.
to make Jade look good.
Yeah,
And
at that point, she might as well just be wrestling a 50-pound bag of potatoes. I mean,
right,
but that's
right.
it. So we have Cody as the king of the ring and Jade
Right.
is the queen of the ring. So like,
So you know what we have to say about that? So if you want to look at that, WWE is AEW all elite, my friend.
it's
We are
starting to get
all
there.
elite.
Starting to get there. So.
Ooh.
But
But
by the way, going back to the last SmackDown when they before we get to the main event, when
right.
John Cena did the pipe bomb and he and he shouted out Matt Cardona.
Yeah,
Apparently, in the after show of this, his name was being chanted over and over again, which is
right,
hilarious.
right.
So that was a stupid little fact. I'm sorry.
I will tell you what,
I
I
digress.
forgot SmackDown, one of the best parts of SmackDown
Yeah.
was
Yep.
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
Punkonomics.
Punk Life. What was he called? He was calling it Punk Life, right?
Punkonomics.
The drug free.
Punkonomics and Punk. Yeah.
Uh, I mean, the bars weren't the greatest. Some of them missed, but
Right.
overall, that was a pretty solid promo.
John Cena wrote the best promo that CM Punk could not
Yes.
get out of his mouth.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
It was cool though. It was cool
yeah.
seeing
It was.
him do that. It was
But
good.
it's been done before. Kurt Angle did it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Big Show did it. Now CM
Did
Punk.
it.
Everyone mocks the GOAT until the GOAT bites back.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
So
Right.
on to the main event. Now that's being said. That was a match.
Yeah.
That was yeah, it was a match. Like it started off slow because the crowd was hot. I don't know if it was actually the piped in noise or if that was the actual crowd, but
I
you
think
couldn't
that was
tell.
funny.
Yeah, you couldn't tell who they were rooting for and who they weren't rooting
Right.
for. No,
Right.
it wasn't like the Hogan Rock from WrestleMania from 20 years ago, but
Right.
it was up there,
Right. Yeah, I liked the match. I thought it was pretty good. Ending wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I didn't think Seth was going to try to cash in there. With that happening, with all the outside, but
But
then again,
by the way,
John Cena.
I want to wish my condolences to Little Nate, the referee that took that
Oh,
massive
yeah.
hit by John Cena.
Yeah,
Basically, he football tackled him out of nowhere and
right,
killed that little man.
The only man that can run 45 yards down a ramp gets knocked out by John Cena. He's been
right,
an ongoing meme for 12 years, gets knocked out by John Cena.
Like you say, rest in peace. We're gonna put the tombstone right up next to Carlito.
Right. But no, I mean, there's, so in a way, it's kind of funny because John Cena really didn't cheat to win this one. It was all the outside interference. But here's the weird thing, right? He didn't decided not to hit Punk with the chair, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of like sitting there going, okay, what's going on, right?
Then they did that fake hug in the middle, and then Cena tried to turn, try to kick him in the nuts, and Punk read it all the way. And yeah, that like are we actually gonna get a clean John Cena win, or is they all gonna be the some sort of outside interference, or somebody's gonna get hit in the head with a belt? Is that
Don't
what?
talk about the greatest of all time like you are. It doesn't matter how he wins it.
Right. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, all of us pretty much know he's not losing until December anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
Right. So
Yeah.
it's a
yeah,
show.
exactly.
But
So
I
I
mean,
will say when he was at FanFest, what he was doing last weekend in New York was actually kind of funny.
right,
He,
right.
like this is I'm going off on a tangent. I'm sorry. They had one of those like punching speed bags, and one of the ones where you
Yeah,
hit it, see how hard you hit
he
it,
walked
and
away.
and he missed it. And he said, "I've been fake punching people for 20 years. You think I'm going to hit this now?"
Right, right,
I was like, and then he just kept on airballing like the basketball shots. He was just playing it up, and I loved it. I love that. That was great.
right, right. But it was kind of funny because when we talk about that, where he wouldn't hit him with a chair, and we were kind of talking about maybe he's gonna start changing characters
Maybe
until the end.
he,
You
he's,
know,
he is starting to get more personality opposed to when he first started this.
right,
He's not so slow, and I'm not talking because I have to talk like this because I'm a bad guy. No, it's not like that. He's more
right,
fluid now, and I think he's finally having fun with it. You
right.
know what I mean? So
Yeah, you can tell he's having more fun with it.
yeah,
Definitely.
he still
Yeah,
can't. He still can't punch, and he still cannot not call his spots in the ring because that will never happen. Like you can hear it
But
from the top rope.
who's the next in the storyline of John Cena?
CM Punk. Oh no, Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins is next.
Yeah, I have a
Hmm.
feeling. Unless they throw one of his Goonies at him.
well, here's the problem though.
Heel
Um,
versus heel.
Seth Rollins is probably going to cash in on Goldberg. So if he's got the belt, I don't think they want to unify it. I don't. If Seth Rollins gets that belt, cashes in on Goldberg and gets that belt, I don't think we're going to see a Seth Rollins John Cena match because there's no need for him to have two belts. And then what do you do now? Then now he's got two belts. I mean, I don't know. I don't see it because I really think the big story with Seth Rollins is going to be is once he gets that championship belt, that's when I think that Roman Reigns is going to come back into the picture. You know,
Yeah.
I think that the Ron Killings story is not over with John Cena.
I don't think so either.
Now the issue is with Roman Reigns. He just signed on to be I forget the guy's name from Street Fighter and the new Street Fighter movie that they're going to
Yeah,
be doing.
right.
Oh, that's facts. That's
Yeah,
real.
yeah, that
Yeah,
is real.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So he's playing one of the characters. So he's going to
Akuma,
be.
isn't he playing Akuma?
I think so. Yeah. So
Yeah,
he's going to be off TV for a while, at least filming that. So that everything's going to be around that. And unfortunately, I don't know when that starts, so I'm not for
yeah,
sure.
right,
So then Seth cashes in on Goldberg, has a little bit of a terror ring, and then here
right,
comes Roman to save the day after this movie release.
Yeah,
right,
well, probably. Yep.
right, right. Because I'm telling you, I still think. Well, now you see. I mean, speaking of Ron Killings, now you see he's going to have a little bit of a rivalry with Aleister Black.
Woo! Here for it.
Yeah, so that should be.
You think they're going to be doing the 2-on or the 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 with Damian Priest in there too, or is Damian Priest going to be the special guest referee?
I think Damian Priest is going to be the Ron, don't do it, and then it's going to show how hard Ron Killings really wants everything. He's going to take everybody out.
Right,
But it also builds Aleister Black because if they keep sleeping on Aleister Black after they just signed him back after so many years of saying he wasn't going to be WWE. They need to do something with him too. That's my next carrying cross is Aleister Black.
Yeah, Alistair. It would be kind of cool to see Alistair Black and Karrion Kross kind of like hooking up together, being like either a tag team or just kind of being a faction or just buddies, helping each other out because those two they kind of fit along the same line, right? I think that would be cool.
Yep, very much so. Like
Yep.
like I said, I have a feeling Damian Priest is going to get involved somehow because
Right.
they've done 2 segments
Right.
with Ron Killings and Alistair, and Damian has been in both segments.
Right.
So
Right.
I have a feeling you know what wouldn't surprise me is they fight, Killings and Alistair fight, and something happens and he ends up turning on Damian Priest.
Right. Right.
I mean, I can see that coming.
Right. And at that point, you know what needs to happen?
What's that?
Enzo needs to come out and tag with R-Truth.
I knew it. I knew it.
You got to get the
doing?
Smack
How you
Talker
doing?
and the Truth Walker together, man.
How
You
you
got to
doing?
get Enzo and the Truth Walker together, man. That would be magic. Just saying.
We
Just saying.
gotta get a sound effect every time you say that. It's how you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
So let's do this because tonight our other part that we were doing, if it'll pop up here, is top 5 women's heels in wrestling history, and this is going to be kind of interesting. And I got it down on the clicker, but so we all pretty much agreed that the Great Moolah is probably number 1 top heel in women's wrestling.
And 1A would be her hand. Yeah, her child hand. Yes.
Yeah, but she's kind of like Ric Flair when it comes to heels, when it comes to the women, right?
Yes.
She was the one that was the dirtiest player in the book first, being dirty to all the other women, and
She was like 90, taking tables, being put through tables by Bubba Ray Dudley over and over again.
Right. So yeah, we put her as number 1. I think one that a lot of people probably forgot, but man, she had a reign of terror, was Awesome Kong.
If she wouldn't have got pregnant when she was in the WWE, she would have been a monster. She would have been a better version of Vader. I saw it now. When she was in TNA, she was unstoppable.
Let's keep it PG. But when I found out that she was when she was leaving for her pregnancy, I was like, "Whose death by snoo is this happening?"
You know what? I thought it was like she caught me off guard when I found out she was in the show Glow on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like because it does not look like her, and I was like,
right.
I was so
right. Then number 3, we got Luna Vachon, and that's well deserved because man, Luna was like a maniac, right?
She with the blue veins on the side of her head that always.
Yep.
You know what? I was a teenager when I remember watching her, and she scared me as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Not like I was a little kid, and that voice that
yeah, she was a monster, man. And she's what was she? Her father was a wrestler too, right? Mad Dog Vachon, right? Mad Dog Vachon.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, but no, she. I'll tell you what, she had a reign of horror and a reign of terror against a lot of these women.
Her and Bam Bam Bigelow? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And then next, one that we already mentioned, but Asuka. Asuka is a heel, man. She
went what 4 years without being beat.
Right.
Untouchable.
Yeah. So. The Empress of Tomorrow, definitely.
Even though she couldn't cut a promo to save her life, but understandable. But just in-ring work, 5.
Right. Speaking of her, I was kind of disappointed that she didn't spit the mist the other night.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Heel Asuka right there is the mist, and I was waiting for it.
Right. And then next up, we had coming in at number 5 was Charlotte Flair, and I'm gonna say this. I actually think she is better when she's a heel than a babyface.
100%. 100%. I'm better than you attitude, the whole queen bow down to me thing plays right into her alley completely.
Right. And it always seemed to me that she always had a better record when she was a heel because she was willing to, like, the heel character that she would do is willing to do whatever.
Yep.
Or when she's a baby face, I think a lot of times she got beat because she wasn't willing to take that extra step.
Yep.
But Charlotte as a heel, man, she can put it down as a heel. Now, along with our top 5 list, all 3 of us had an honorable mention. So why don't you go first, Dirty Spray J? Who was your honorable mention for the list?
Okay, so I'm gonna stick with this generation, and I'm gonna have to say Rhea Ripley. She builds villains. Her time in the Judgment Day when she was the Terror Twins and taking Dominic Mysterio from his dad and building
Right,
that Dirty Dom character. I think Rhea Ripley is one to not be slept on as the baddest villain of the women.
right. What about you, Elegant Sasquatch?
You know what? I'm gonna go Medusa when she went to WCW.
Ooh.
When she
She was
took
the
the belt,
first and only person I've ever seen. Well, not only because Shane Douglas did it too, but she had the WWF title with her, and she threw it in the trash can on national TV. And you can't
Right.
get any more heel than that. I mean,
no, no. Um, I'm gonna say, and she did wrestle in WWE, but she's currently in AEW. But I think when she went to AEW, her persona is a lot cooler. I'm gonna say Tony Storm.
yes, but
Um,
Okay.
she
Okay.
because
you
when
know,
now I know she's kind of
she's
turning
Razor Ramon.
yeah, she's kind of turning baby face now, it seems like. But originally when she came out with this, Tony
Timeless.
Storm stuff, timeless Tony Storm, I mean, she was a heel, man. she
Yeah,
she didn't care. She was nasty and she was running things. So I think out of this era, Tony Storm probably needs to be on that list, I
yeah,
would say.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
They need to keep her because they couldn't keep Jade. So, I mean, she
yeah,
is the
and you know what?
new Jade of the women.
Tony took that ball and she ran with it. I don't
yeah,
care.
I
yeah,
would say that Tony Storm is the John Cena of the women of AEW.
yeah.
She
Well,
she's starting to become the Ric Flair on the mic of AEW. You
Oh,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
okay.
yeah.
So
She's probably taking some classes from Enzo.
That's
how you
two.
doing? How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
You
Yep.
know what? We one of us should like send out a message, see if we can get him on there.
Even for
I'll give
5 minutes, right?
you
Even
know
for
what?
5 minutes.
You know what? After we get done here, I'm gonna shoot him a message and ask if he wants to be on the show.
Oh my gosh. I think Dino would be like
I'd be like this the whole
He's
time.
gonna number one need a new change of pants, and number two
Right.
he won't have anything to say. He's
I'm,
gonna have
I'm just gonna be like this.
he's gonna be sitting there speechless, fanboying out. And you know what? Matter of fact, will take off the night and I'll just watch the show because I want to watch Dino's action and not have anything to say about it. That's all.
So let's talk about some future wrestling predictions, fellas. Um, what's the hot topic for you guys? What do you think it's going to be happening soon?
Go ahead, Jay. You got
Oh,
something?
I hate to say, I just want to bring up my guys real quick with Wyatt Six because that match with the Street Profits was weak sauce. They
Yep.
they, they just kept pushing it, and now they're gonna string it along a little bit. I just wanted to be done. Let them be champions. Let them build on.
Right.
But I would have to say my predictions of it all is the Usos, Roman Reigns, um, Jacob Fatu, and they're gonna bring Zilla, and it's gonna be that bloodline versus Solo's dynasty.
So the
Survivor.
real bloodline against the Wish Timu version.
Yeah, see, I'm ready for Zilla to be here in WWE
Yeah.
because Zilla is the child of the late great Umaga,
Umaga. Yeah.
and I want to see him go against Solo. Like you just taking all my dad's stuff. Like
Yeah.
let me show you how it's done.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think that would be good. Yep. So I think we all kind of predicted that Goldberg's going to win against Gunther. My prediction with that match, though, is going to be when he's sitting there celebrating, my prediction is Seth Rollins is going to have Braun Breaker come in and give Goldberg a spear. Once he gives him the spear, Seth's going to come in, cash it in 1, 2, 3, and he's going to win. That's my prediction because I think it would be kind of cool, and I think Goldberg would like the spin of, in my last match, I won the belt and then I got taken out by a spear. That's how good my move was, the spear, because everybody wants to do it, right? But it'd be cool to see him as the first guy that really made the spear, and then you've got the modern day version of the spear that Braun Breaker does. I just think it kind of puts a cool spin on it, and I think Goldberg would probably be cool with that, and I think it makes it believable, right? Like
Okay.
here, Braun, because Braun can sprint down there, how fast, come in, hit that spear, and then Seth comes in, cashes in 1, 2, 3, and that's it. But that's my prediction for that match. That's what I think is going to happen.
I think they're gonna push uh, Raquel further than what she is. Her
Right.
and not Liv, the other one. It's
Raquel,
they're gonna be the tag team champs right now. You know, Raquel is gonna fill in for Liv,
Roxanne.
and then excuse me, Roxanne's gonna fill in for
Yep.
Liv. Pardon me.
Right. Right.
And then when Liv comes back, they're gonna have like basically a 3-way match, and Raquel's in the middle. Can't figure out which way she wants to go, and then Raquel becomes a singles person. They're gonna push her. That's what I'm thinking.
Right. Well, the one thing with Roxanne Perez too is she's got big backing, big pushing by Booker T.
Yeah.
That's Booker T's girl, so see what happens with that. But yeah, Raquel impressed me.
Yeah,
That match with Rhea, she has really stepped up her game on how she does stuff. So we'll see what happens with her. Hopefully, the problem with her though is hopefully she can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Because she does have issues that flare up every once in a while. So hopefully she can stay healthy and we don't run into problems with that. But I agree with 30 Spray J. The Wyatt Six needs to win the tag team titles. What smoke the Street Profits had, the smoke's gone. Let's put the belts on the Wyatt Six and let them run with it. But on that match, the one thing I will say is, man, did it feel good seeing Eric Rowan go in there and just destroy some people really quick, right? Like, dude, he just destroyed a bunch of people. Yeah, good to see him moving.
Another thing I want to mention about that match, though, is if you notice the small details of Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy, he is now wearing his brother's final jacket of what the final Fiend would have been if he didn't pass away. I think that Bo Dallas is slowly turning into the Fiend in his own way,
Right.
and it's not really being talked about. And
Right.
hopefully one day he gets the push to lead the legacy of Wyndham Rotunda.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Hopefully, like I said, they keep the Wyatt Six in motion. Hopefully they don't pay. Hopefully it's all gas and no brakes with them, and they don't put the brakes on and be like, 2 more months, take some time off, and then we'll bring it back in 2 months. But hopefully they keep the motion going. Any other future predictions, guys?
That's all I got. I mean, that's all I can see. So
Right. So here's the funny thing though. What if Seth doesn't cash in on Goldberg and he wins the belt? What happens then?
No idea. No clue.
Dude,
I honestly, I'm gonna go against you, Dino, and I'm gonna say that Goldberg's not gonna win it. It's gonna be the push of Gunther. It's gonna be the passing of the torch, and he's gonna be the one that defeated, the greatest of whatever Goldberg wants to say he is.
you always talk about details, right? 30 Spray J.
Yeah,
All you gotta do is look at the shirt he's been wearing.
the last ride.
Yep. With what has he got in his hands on that shirt?
Okay.
And guess what? Can't sell those shirts if he didn't win. Didn't win the belt, right?
Touche.
Yeah.
You might be right.
It makes it too easy for Seth to come in and get it, right?
Do you know we need to change your name to Notre Dame? That's what it is. Notre Dame Santa. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only reason I think so, because when you see the shirt that he was wearing and all that and the build-up, plus it's in Atlanta, the first place he won the WCW belt against Hogan, hometown crowd, right? If he wins it, and then if Seth cashes in, he doesn't lose face. He still went out on top. There you go. Have a nice day. Last match.
Exactly.
Right into the sunset. Yep.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's all I'm thinking. I think it's going to go down like that. I could be wrong, but I really think that will set up a lot of stuff because, like I said, I think Gunther has to do some changing to his persona and his character, right? If he loses to Goldberg, he takes maybe a couple months off and he starts developing his character to go down that darker side of what Gunther can be, right? So maybe he comes back an even darker and more violent type of Gunther.
maybe.
You know,
Maybe.
I think that would go because I would love to see Gunther come back as like just a darker, grittier, delivering the pain, beat down type of guy. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I think that would be fantastic. You know, but give him some time off, let him build this character, and let him do some vignettes. You know, let him do some vignettes to build this new Gunter up. You know, I think it would be a good thing because that gives him longevity, right?
Yep.
Because you get a dark, gritty Gunther like that, you could strap the title on that guy and he could have a year run with no problem.
Exactly. So
Yep, yep. All righty, what's up next, fellas? The Enzo meter.
yeah,
How many times did Tactical Santa mention Enzo?
3, 4.
3. Spray's
3,
got
4.
4. You've got
I
3.
got 4.
I got 3.
You know, we
I mean,
need to
are
make
we
it.
counting every time he says his name? Because it's like 12, 13 now. So
You know, we're have to get an official counter because we should probably do some sort of giveaway or something. If anybody starts guessing how many times, they have to predict right when the show begins, or we'll be like, all right, you gotta make a prediction. But
Yeah,
we should
you
do
know what?
something.
That's what we'll have at like 7:07. You know,
Right,
or 7:05. Throw it back to Saturday Night Live. 7:05. Get your
right,
Enzo count in, and then we'll go
right,
from there.
right. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun to do. But
And
yeah,
then what we'll do is we'll do a 3-month, and then we'll take everybody's names down, and after 3 months, we'll put all the names into a hat, and then we'll do a giveaway, and then we'll figure something
the
out.
the Tactical Santa Enzo giveaway.
Exactly. Exactly. You win a free cameo or something from Enzo.
Right, right.
So,
Man, I should reach out to him. You guys should. I'd be like, man, you know how many times this guy plugs you, man.
man, we got somebody that might be your biggest fan of all
There we
time.
go.
Oh,
There we go.
I did I tell you I did meet him, right? Him and Big
Huh.
Cass.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
what was that? 3 years ago? 2 years,
Right.
2 years, 3 years ago. Sorry, every time my window AC kicks on, my lights dim, so I'm not losing my power. It's just the window air here.
Right.
But yeah, like he is a short man, and
Yeah.
and Big Cass isn't 7 feet tall.
No, he's probably he's like 6'7", 6'8", something
He's
like
like
that.
6'8". He was in Tim, so he was like 6'9", 6'10". But I'm like, I'm 6'6", and I'm looking him in the eye. I'm like,
Right.
you're not 7 feet tall. Okay.
Are you sure you didn't grow Sasquatch?
I'm positive. I
Okay.
haven't. Maybe,
Okay. All right.
maybe this way, not so much this way.
Right. Right.
But yeah, he's yeah, when I met him, he seemed like a nice guy, but I
Yeah.
only met him for 4.5 seconds.
Right. Right. Alrighty. So, final thoughts, fellas. What are some final thoughts about what you guys think?
Um, I I think most of WWE writing and storytelling's on point. Like they are telling some good stuff. Not everything's gonna hit.
Right.
There's certain shows that they're just throwing stuff at the wall, see what sticks. Other ones they're hitting on all cylinders. And you know what? AEW is starting to pick up too. Like they're actually making a little bit more sense. They're not. I mean,
Right.
don't get me wrong. Most of it's still high spot up the wazoo, but it's making a little bit more sense when they're doing it with some of the stories that they're telling. So.
Yeah, they are. Their storytelling is getting better. Um, I
It,
don't know what WWE's doing, but SmackDown is really kicking Raw's ass, and they need to really start stepping it up on Raw. Because like I said, man, SmackDown is where it's at right now, in my opinion.
exactly.
I think that Raw will be stepped up once this whole reign of Seth Rollins starts. I don't
Yeah,
think it's the last member of that little faction. They need to give it a name already.
right.
Um, Calling Paul Heyman the Oracle. This isn't Batman. I, you don't even need Paul Heyman because you talk a lot, guy. Seth Rollins can run the mic as much as I can, cutting in on everybody's conversation. So I'm ready to see what's going on next with Raw. But like you guys said, SmackDown's where it's at. And that was because of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was the champion of SmackDown for so long that you had to have the big bangers on SmackDown.
Right. Well, it's like you said, they don't really need Paul Wiseman. They just need to call up Enzo, have him come out there. Just saying.
You say it one more time. I'm quitting the show. I can't deal with this anymore. I can't work under these conditions. Yeah,
So we got what do we got? We got Saturday night's main event coming up in
yep.
July. That's the next big one.
Yeah, that's the 12th. And then
That's
Evolution's the 13th, the
Evolution,
next night, the
right?
Sunday.
Yeah,
So,
right. That's gonna be awesome. So I
And
think
did Booker T get in some kind of trouble for trying to his opinion about Evolution should be a two-nighter?
something like that. And
yeah.
and then he also quit the Fast Lane show or whatever.
I
No,
I gotta tell you something. The Legends of Tomorrow or whatever it
yeah,
is.
the LFO, I think it is. Or
I gotta tell you something, man. It would not hurt my feelings if I never heard Booker T do commentary again or anything again. I think that, in my opinion, he was one of the sloppiest wrestlers out there. When you watch his matches, his
Mhm.
kicks were horrible. All his stuff was horrible. The Spinaroonie should have died after the first year, but he keeps doing it. Um, One thing I don't like when he commentates, especially when the women are out there, the way he commentates about the women.
Yep,
Um, have some respect, dude. And
exactly.
He's
yeah,
not no Jerry Lawler. I think that's
yeah,
what it is. Is they're trying
right.
to bring back some kind of essence of Jerry Lawler. You knew who
No,
Jerry Lawler was when he
Yeah, I
wanted
was
to
gonna say it wasn't as bad
puppies,
as Waller, but
but
right.
yeah,
But
but
I
I
mean,
mean, Lawler was
right,
a chubbier, oh, horny old man.
right,
Booker T should
right,
have some class.
right. I just, not to diss him that hard, but I just, if he wasn't involved anymore, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. I just, you know, I think he's like a one trick pony all the time. He's like, oh, shucky ducky quack quack, blah blah blah. Okay, dude, it was funny the first time. Now you've done it. You
it,
said it
it, it was
500
funny when
times.
the comedian said it back in '92.
Right. So I'm like, it's not funny anymore. And the only thing I do like is sometimes you'll hear the other commentators when women are out there wrestling, they'll put him in check.
Oh, 100%,
They check him. So I'm like, if you
100%.
got other commentators putting him in check, and come on, like either calm him down and stop that view, or just sorry, dude, can't use you no more.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
And for him to want to quit that show, dude, let me put it to you this way, dude. I don't think you have a lot of other options. I think they extended you a pretty good thing there,
I
and you can
mean,
walk off on that.
he can't be any worse on commentary than what Taz is in AEW or the dude that's in the mask on their AEW
Sure,
commentary. I mean, because I don't know if
sure,
you ever listened to it, but Taz is constantly on Botchamania, messing up
right,
something or another.
right.
So
I mean,
like it's a little different. I understand that,
right.
but
I
still,
mean,
it
but
can't be
here's the
any.
difference, though. I'll call it how it is, right? AEW is like being in the minor league, in
Yeah,
my opinion, right?
yeah,
When you're working in NXT, Raw, or SmackDown, dude, you're up at the big leagues, right? So there's got to be some standards there. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And it's
exactly.
just it's just one of those things where you're like, it's really unnecessary. What some of his commentary, right? You're like, dude, it's just very unnecessary. So
Exactly, exactly.
yeah, yeah. But we'll see. Who knows? But I've got to do this because, man, I got to tell you what. I know that Jay's used it. And I got to tell you what, everybody on the show, if you have not tried the Elegant Sasquatch, man, this is an absolute banger right here. This will take you back to your childhood. I don't know how he comes up with this stuff to make it exactly smell like you'll remember, like you went to the Good Humor truck and you got one of these firecrackers off the ice cream truck. It is fantastic. Do yourself a favor, check out Elegant Sasquatch, man. This guy is an awesome guy. He supports the community. I mean, hell, he even decided he'd be on a wrestling show with me. So, I mean, he must be a good guy, right?
You know what?
To put up with me.
Do you know? I heard he was a giant jerk, and don't listen to a word he said. I heard that too. But no, the labels that you guys got were the first run labels, and then after I printed them and put them on there, I realized my name isn't on the original label. If you look, you don't see my name on the label that I sent you guys.
Right.
Yeah, and even if you look at the label that the one that's on the screen now, you won't see my name on there. I changed it so where it says the original on there, my name's on there. Right. So all the ones that will be going out July 4th, because that's when it goes on sale at 7 a.m. July 4th. They will have the Elegant Sasquatch. So
right. Well, I'll tell you, I got some stickers in for Worlds today.
Nice.
The other day, Saturday, and none of my QR codes worked. They didn't print them right, so I got 500 stickers where the QR codes, because I did like 5 different designs.
Yeah.
And the QR codes don't work how I print them, so I'm like, well,
actually,
I'll just hand them out and be like, well, the QR code don't work, but they're still cool stickers.
Speaking of stickers, I just printed off some new ones last night.
There we go.
They're brighter in person than what you see, but yes.
Right.
So yeah, those are the new ones. I got some more coming, but I just haven't printed them off and cut them and all that jazz. So.
Right. Right. But yeah, I mean, you live and learn, right? So I know next time I got to there's another company that did my last ones that they all work. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go through that, but I'll make it a little bit bigger.
You know what? If you want, I can show you the easy way to print out photos. If you want to stickers, if you want to do it that way, how I do it. So at least you'll have something for Worlds right away,
Right. I got them, so I don't care. I'm going to hand them out. Everybody pretty much knows me in the beard community, so they'll be like, okay, there you go. QR code don't work, but big deal. You know what I mean? But yeah, absolutely. Elegant Sasquatch is such a giant jerk that he says thank you when I post his products. The nerve of that guy.
I told you, he's a giant. Yeah, he is a giant jerk, man. Like, I don't know how anybody puts up with him. I don't know how the host of his show puts up with him. He's a loudmouth just jerk, man.
Right.
That's why Jay has to wear the glasses, because he rolls his eyes every time Sasquatch opens his mouth. That's what it is.
I think the only final thought I have is for all of you out there, 30 Spray J is going to be a special guest tomorrow night on the Monday Night Mayhem show. We're doing Ladies Night, and it's going to be very special. Our guests on Monday Night Mayhem are going to be 30 Spray J, Melissa from Copper Johns, Brother Amber Imboden, and True North Terra. So
is that the 4 women of the Beard Apocalypse? Did I just come up with something?
Well, here's the thing. There's only 3 women on the show,
and you got Jay, but
You see what he was trying to do there.
Depending on the day, he might be a woman.
Being a lady over here.
Right. Jay, you're pretty like a woman. How about that? Will that make you feel better? Okay.
All right. Like a woman.
But yeah, it's going to be an awesome show. But guys, what are we? So probability we are going to have the Sunday show happen next Sunday. I should be home from Worlds.
Okay.
Should be happening. So guys, what is our top 5 going to be next week? What are we doing?
Oh, that is a good question. I didn't think this far. I'm sorry. We did
5 finishers.
Yeah, I was going to say faces is the next one, or tag teams maybe.
Tag teams. Okay. Let's do top 5 tag teams.
Want to do tag teams?
Top 5 tag teams. Yeah,
that works.
All right, so we'll do top 5. tag teams next week.
Yeah.
And I just want to say for everybody that came to watch us, thank you for your support. We couldn't do this without you guys. Thank you for tuning in. For those of you that are catching it on a rewatch, thank you. We appreciate it. But if you subscribe, you'll never miss one of the shows. So I'm
Hit
going
the
to do
bell.
my best, Santa Tom, and say, I love you all. And the world could use a little bit more love. So try to go out there and show people love and be nice to everybody because that's what you should do. So from Tactical Santa, the Elegant Sasquatch, and 30 Spray J, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week on the same Enzo time, same Enzo channel. Thank you. Have a good night.